this is Shelley Stern-Grage with Microsoft, and I'm happy to welcome you today to Civic Chat Networking Our Neighborhoods. Our guest today is Dorrie McWhorter, CEO of the YWCA of Metropolitan Chicago. Dorrie, welcome to our show. We're thrilled to have you on.
Thank you, Shelley.
It's a pleasure. So tell us about the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago and what you really do.
The YWCA is a 139-year-old social service agency.
Wonderful.
And we have the pleasure of serving over 200,000 women and families across the Chicago metropolitan area. Our mission is quite lofty. It is to eliminate racism and empower women. And so for us, we've really boiled that down into three core focus areas.
Okay.
One being freedom from violence, the second being access to quality education and training, and then finally, economic sustainability.
That is a huge mission goal. Let's talk a little bit about the large numbers. You said 200,000 people, right?
Yes.
What communities do you cover in Chicagoland?
Sure, so we cover the entire metropolitan area. So we cover as far northwest as Glendale Heights. We cover South Cook County with Chicago Heights.
Right.
And then we have 5 centers speckled throughout the city. So we're in the north with Logan Square, we're in North Lawndale, we're in Englewood, Chicago Heights, West Loop. So we're all throughout the Chicago metropolitan area.
And the centers, I've seen actually one of the more recent ones, which is magnificent. So these are places that are open, what hours?
So our centers vary, the hours vary by what's happening at the centers. The one that you're probably most familiar with, that's 6600 South Cottage Grove in the greater Woodlawn area, that tends to vary between 8 till 9 some nights, depending on what's happening. We're open on Saturday there because we bring our tech girls in on Saturdays. So we have a variety of hours based on our counseling services, but we like to really stay open to the community. Plus, we operate the 1-800 rape crisis lines throughout the Chicago metropolitan area, and those are 24-hour crisis lines.
Okay, so let's dig deep because you have so many programs and so many things to choose from here. Let's first talk about violence with women and rape and crisis prevention. Can you give me 1 or 2 examples of the type of services you provide in that area?
Absolutely. So we see our services as very comprehensive, and so the work that we focus on with sexual violence is specifically helping women get access to crisis services. So if someone has an assault or a crisis, they can call into our services, and we will respond with medical advocacy. So our clinicians go to the hospital and make sure that person is taken care of. In addition, we provide ongoing counseling services, and we provide counseling services not only to the survivor but also the non-offending family members. And because of this, we really help women and their families really start the course of healing. Therefore, they're able to be more productive and go into other educational and economic pursuits. And so we really see our services tie very closely together. A woman may come in having had a trauma like sexual assault, and then we're able to also refer her to economic empowerment services. And so that's quite a bit of what we do, is really understand what are the barriers and how can we help them address the barriers. And because we're so comprehensive, they often stay within our 4 walls.
That's fabulous because sometimes a negative experience like that can stop somebody in the progress that they're making or send them backwards, and it sounds like you're trying to open multiple doors to help move them forward.
Absolutely.
So that's terrific.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about my favorite area, Tech Girls. I'm a little bit familiar with that program, but I know it's grown. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. Tech Girls is our wonderful program that we focus on girls ages 9 through 14, and we're really specific because girls age 9, around that age, are 3rd grade, and they really start to lose interest in math and science. And so we really want to make sure that they don't, and so our program is really targeted towards that age range. And we're focused on STEAM, so we're focused on science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And we include arts because, as you know, the aesthetics and the digital user experience is so important in terms of that process as well. So we want to make sure our girls are well prepared. They come in on Saturday. Again, from a neighborhood perspective, we want to make sure that we're not interfering with other after school activities. So we bring them in on Saturday. Plus, it gets dark early during the week, during the winter time, which is 9 months out of the year around Chicago.
You know it.
Exactly. And so we want to make sure that our girls are safe as well coming in and to and from our center. And so we operate our program on Saturday, half day, and they have a number of things they experience. Most recently, they were doing Tech Girls Got Game and focusing focusing on gaming. And so we really want to make sure that our girls are prepared for the 21st century opportunities.
That's terrific. Are they learning coding as well?
They are doing some coding. So they did app development as well in another module. So they're learning a wide range of skills. They actually, for Mother's Day, they learned about horticulture as well. And so they were able to
my heart sing.
Exactly. So they were able to bring home flowers for their mothers, but really understand that as a science and a process.
Exactly. And how long does is it a course?
Well, Tech Girls we do in modules. And
modules.
There's a 12-week core curriculum that covers all the areas of STEAM. And then we go into modules like Tech Girls Got Game, Tech Girls Code.
Excellent.
And we partner with Adler Planetarium. We do a project there. So then they have the core curriculum and supplemented by modules on specific topics.
That is absolutely terrific, and you are so spot on regarding getting to girls about the whole scope of STEAM, really in that third grade area, which is when they usually unfortunately start to check out and kind of separate themselves from the science and from the math area. So congratulations to you on expanding that program and really growing that program.
Thank you. And we've actually leveraged what we've learned from Tech Girls to expand into adults as well. So we're doing a program that we're calling 3D, Developing Digital Diversity, to include women and people of color and veterans, to offer them coding training as well.
That is terrific. Well, we'll have to talk later about that because it's a strong area of interest for us. All of these programs and the resources that you have really are focused on economic development to make our neighborhoods stronger. Can you give us just a couple of highlights regarding, what you see as the impact in our neighborhoods?
Absolutely. So all of our programs really impact the neighborhoods because we are definitely focused on how do we make strong participants and strong citizens in the neighborhoods. And so as we offer different services, whether it's financial management and literacy in our specific neighborhood centers, people are going out and using that knowledge and applying that knowledge to their home life in those neighborhoods as well.
That is terrific. So you've got technology literacy, you certainly have social service, crisis intervention and support and resources, you've got economic development programs, you have financial literacy programs. Is there anything that we missed here?
Not at all. I think we pretty much covered it. The only thing I'll say is that in addition to in terms of the impact on our neighborhoods, as we talk about our counseling services, that's a violence prevention strategy that we have as well. And so those absolutely impact violence in the home, violence in the community has as you know, has a detrimental impact to our citizens in those neighborhoods. So to the degree that we can also use our prevention education that we have through our sexual assault counseling programs, we're able to also reduce the impact of violence for those individuals.
That's really, really important. And one other question that I know a lot of people will ask, what about if I'm a man and if I'm looking for accessing these services? How do you approach that?
We are absolutely inclusive, so we are very much gender inclusive. However, because our name is the YWCA, we definitely focus on women, and we do know from our programs and just the impact, many of the communities we are in, there's a single female-headed household that we're serving, and that impact is quite important for us to make sure that we're giving that woman what she needs to support her family and, quite honestly, the surrounding community.
So it's your priority, but it's not exclusive?
Absolutely not. In fact, actually, if you come on Saturdays, our Tech Girls programs, you see all their little brothers hanging out as well.
Because they want to do it too.
Exactly. So I was like, opportunity.
Right, absolutely. We want them all to be successful.
Absolutely.
Right, that's wonderful.
Sure.
So if somebody wants to learn more about the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago and all your services, where should they go? What should they do?
They can reach the YWCA at ywcachicago.org. Our Twitter handle is also YWCA Chicago, and we also have an e-commerce site, yshop.org. Sorry.
Okay, say that again.
yshop.org.
Terrific. Dorrie, thank you so much for joining us today. You're doing great work in our neighborhoods.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you
Our pleasure.
so much.